This is the Washington Times front page for Tuesday, August 24th, 2021. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. We start on Capitol Hill, where a group of moderate House Democrats have forced Speaker Nancy Pelosi to back off from holding an initial vote on President Biden's $3.5 trillion budget package. Congressional reporter Harris Alec reports Pelosi attempted to hold a vote to advance the package, but was opposed by 10 moderate Democrats, who argued the House should instead take up the recently passed $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure deal. Pelosi has now opted to delay the vote until Tuesday. The decision came after hours of tense negotiations between her and the moderates, led by Democratic New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer. Although several concessions were offered to the moderates, Pelosi refused to hold an immediate vote on the infrastructure deal. Rather, the Speaker stood by her previous pledge not to take up infrastructure until the Senate has passed the bigger $3.5 trillion package. In Afghanistan, the Taliban has threatened violence against any American troops who remain in Kabul past August 31st. Pentagon correspondent Ben Wolfgang reports the development has renewed pressure on a White House already facing withering criticism over its hasty Afghanistan withdrawal and the chaotic scramble that it created. President Biden has expressed an unwavering commitment that U.S. forces would stay at Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul as long as it takes to complete that mission, even if it means remaining in Afghanistan past his self-imposed August 31st deadline. But top Taliban leaders made clear they expect Biden to stick to his original timetable and warned of consequences if he doesn't. U.S. forces are operating inside the airport, while Taliban fighters run checkpoints on the streets around the facility, often aggressively managing crowds trying to reach the entrances to the airport. Several Democratic lawmakers emerged from a Monday evening briefing skeptical that the August 31st deadline could still be met. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said he thinks it's very unlikely. Hospitals, governors, and the military wasted little time in requiring COVID-19 vaccines for their employees after the Food and Drug Administration fully authorized the Pfizer-BioNTech shot. Tom Howe reports the Pentagon confirmed it will follow through with Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's push to mandate the shots for more than 1 million active-duty troops. Missouri hospital system Cox Health said workers must get their first dose by October 15th, and New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said all public education employees must receive at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine by September 27th. President Biden characterized the FDA decision as a watershed moment in the pandemic fight and pleaded with nearly 90 million eligible yet unvaccinated Americans to schedule their first shots. Roughly 3 in 10 unvaccinated people told the Kaiser Family Foundation they would be more likely to take a vaccine if it was fully approved. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Don't have access to the Times yet? Visit WashingtonTimes.com/George to get 25% off your annual subscription. President Biden's proposal for a new death tax to help pay for his $3.5 trillion budget package that we mentioned a little bit earlier is hitting resistance from members of Congress. Congressional reporter Carrie Murakami reports the proposal would change the way capital gains are calculated on inherited assets worth more than $1 million, taking a bigger bite out of inherited stocks, real estate, businesses, and farms. The change would generate an estimated $800 million in revenue. House Agriculture Committee Chairman David Scott of Georgia is concerned, however, that the changes would hit food, fuel, and fiber producers hard. The federal government already imposes a death tax on the total value of an inheritance, but only 50 of 31,000 farms whose owners died last year were subject to the tax, according to the Department of Agriculture. And finally, Deputy Political Editor Dave Boyer looks at the latest leg of Vice President Kamala Harris's Southeast Asian trip, Vietnam. The chaotic American withdrawal from Afghanistan has already overshadowed the trip, which is intended to strengthen U.S. alliances in Southeast Asia against China. An administration official said the vice president doesn't care about comparisons between Afghanistan and Vietnam. The official said Southeast Asia and the Indo-Pacific are strategically and economically important, and that hasn't changed with Afghanistan. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app. And follow the Front Page Podcast for free on all your favorite podcast platforms. Just search Washington Times. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.